And you may find yourself in an empty movie theater, and you may find yourself with the uncontrollable urge to dance, and you may ask yourself, my God, what have I done? What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you a movie review. It's very rare that I do this, but I had to do it because I saw Stop Making Sense last night on the big screen in IMAX with restored video and sound, and it had been actually over 20 years since I'd seen the movie, so I was really excited, almost like seeing it with fresh eyes. I mean, like adult eyes at this point. And man, I'm just gonna say, it was a transcendent experience. I'm so glad now in my 40s to have experienced this bolt of joy that just exuded the entire runtime of this concert. And really, it's one of the best concert films of all time. I'd really put it up there in my top three with Concert for George and of course The Last Waltz, which is half documentary, but most people consider that a concert film. But oh my God, man, there is all killer, no filler, right from the opening track, Psycho Killer, which is so cool how, like Concert for George, they stage this thing and it's just David Byrne in the beginning singing that on his own with a little boom box playing the beat. So cool. And then one by one, the other members come on the next song and then the next song. And by the time you're, only maybe 5 or 6 songs into this thing, they're already playing Burning Down the House with a full band. And it's just so freaking good, man. I love that track anyway, but it just has so much more energy, especially like at the end of it when David Byrne and the other guitarists are like running in place while playing their guitars. It is just insane, some of the stuff that's going on choreography wise, if you want to call it that, because David Byrne's moves are a little, abnormal, so to speak, like during wartime. On every line of the verse where he's like, this ain't no party, this ain't no disco. It's just freaking hilarious, man. I love David Byrne so much, and it really gives you a whole new appreciation for him as an artist. Not just as a singer-songwriter, but vocally, I mean, he did not hit a wrong note the entire time, which is something because nowadays, looking back on this, 40 years old now, which is crazy. Now you see all these performances and people are lip syncing whether they need to or not. And on this, it's like, look at all the stuff David Byrne is doing, jogging, running, dancing, doing all these strange moves, but yet he's singing and not to a track. It's all being done live into the mic and it sounds brilliant. Plus, he's such a good guitar player, man. Like, actually, everybody in the band is so good at what they do. Often the other people are changing instruments. The bassist is going from bass to guitar to keyboards and everyone kind of moving around and following suit. But oh my God, man, on songs like Found a Job, both guitars just doing that really cool rhythmically percussive thing, these polyrhythms throughout the whole night of this performance are amazing. But songs like that from their second album that I don't even remember really, this becomes a definitive version because you're seeing it on the screen with your eyes, like how amazing their playing is and how great the sound is. I can say that about most of the songs on this album. I mean, this would be like the essential one Talking Heads album to have, if not for a few missing songs from albums like Remain in Light, like Born Under Punches, for example. I would have loved to have seen that in here as well. But of course, this coming out in 1983, this was on the tour for Speaking in Tongues. So most of the songs are from that album. Not complaining about that because some great ones, of course, Burning Down the House, as I mentioned. You've got Swamp, which is a song, another one that it breathed new life into it, almost like an actual film, like David Byrne getting into this alternate persona and that whole hi thing. It's so weird and so beautifully weird. I love it. I mean, by the time you get to towards the end of this thing, and he's got the big suit on, and doing his moves, it's just like it's almost like, I don't even know, man. Like Weird Al Yankovic was known for being weird on purpose. David Byrne is somewhere in that middle ground where it's like, obviously what he's doing is on purpose, but it's also like, it's funny, but it's also cool at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't even know if it does, but I had such a good time at this thing, man. And it was an empty movie theater, by the way. My stepson and I went to see this, and no one else there, but it felt like you were immersed, especially on IMAX and the surround sound. It felt like you were part of this audience. And there were multiple times where I just felt like the urge to get up and dance. Because, I mean, the background singers also dancing, getting into the whole vibe. Just everybody, there's just like this unbridled fun energy throughout all the songs. I know I'm kind of just going all over the place, but there are just so many highlights to mention. As I said, many of these songs that are on this record are better or as good as the original recorded versions, but like Cross-Eyed and Painless, Closing Out the Night, just incredible. Oh my God, so much energy. It's cool too to hear them do more of the Al Green version of Take Me to the River versus their own version, the more subdued one on the album. But highlight for me, like my favorite moment was Once in a Lifetime. I mean, that is my favorite Talking Heads song, but it just hit me in a different way now, especially being, as I said, more adult. I think I turned to Ian and said, this is the perfect song to have a midlife crisis to. So, it's like it hits on a totally different level as he's saying, this is not my beautiful house and all that stuff. It's just, it's hilarious, but it strikes a chord. And many of these songs do in totally different ways. Again, Burning Down the House, man. If you haven't seen just the clip of that alone, it is just incredible. And I love the original version as well, but the tempo is sped up here, and watching the guys doing all the different forms of percussion on this thing, so good. Of course, songs like Making Flippy Floppy and Slippery People, all the songs are fantastic. And then, of course, This Must Be the Place, Naive Melody is such a beautiful track, but it's even more so here where you hear the vocals just raw and so compelling. And hey, they don't even need much on the stage other than themselves and maybe a lamp. That moment where David Byrne's like playing with the lamp and it almost falling, and just like his strange, awkward movements throughout the night just keeps you sucked in. And it's just one of the best performances. And I've always liked Talking Heads a good deal. Now I officially love them, and it's making me want to go back and like go through their whole catalog from start to finish. I've just been listening to this record on repeat all day today. So to say that, this has been like invigorating, inspiring, that's selling it short. I mean, this thing is absolutely a 10 out of 10 film, album. It's incredible, man. So do yourself a favor, if it's still in theaters, and check this out the way it should be seen on this restored big screen experience. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. And if you haven't listened to the album, please do so as well. But I just had to share this because I had so much fun, and it was just pure joy. So yes, thank you, Talking Heads, and Jonathan Demme, and all the people involved in restoring this thing. And man, 40 years on, still the Talking Heads, just incredible. So guys, thank you for watching. We got album reviews, top fives every Friday, so much more. Thank you, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.